Frog Prince. One evening, a young princess went out to take a walk by herself in the woods. She went all by herself, as she was tired of the royal servants. She walked amidst tall trees, and the cool breeze refreshed her. While walking, she never realized that she had reached the middle of the woods. But she was not afraid, for she was sure that she would be able to find her way back home. And in the middle of the woods ran a gurgling spring. "Oh, I feel so tired. Let me sit by this spring and rest a while," she thought. Now the princess had brought along her favorite plaything with her. It was a golden ball. She kept tossing it up into the air and catching it as it fell. Quite a few minutes passed when suddenly she threw the ball so high that she missed catching it as it fell. It was too late for her to realize her mistake. Unfortunately, the ball bounced a few times and then rolled away before it fell into a deep well nearby. The princess was unaware that there was a well also near the spring. "Oh dear, what shall I do now? My favorite ball has landed deep down this well. Now who will bring it back from this well?" The poor princess sobbed and sat with her back to the well. She also could not think of a way to take out the ball either. She was in despair. As she was lamenting, a frog popped out of the water and croaked. "Princess, why are you crying?" At first the princess was a bit shocked. She looked here and there but couldn't see anyone. Then finally she saw an ugly frog smiling at her from the edge of the well. "You cannot help me, you ugly frog. My golden ball has fallen into the well. It was my favorite plaything," she cried more. The frog said, "Of course I can. I do not want your pearls and jewels and fine clothes, but if you will love me and let me live with you and eat from your golden plate and sleep on your bed for 3 days, I will bring you your ball back." "Let me try my luck. He might be able to get my ball for me. But he can never even get out of these woods to visit me, and so I will tell him he shall have what he asks." So thinking thus, she said to the frog, "Well, if you will bring me my ball, I will do what you say." Satisfied with the promise, the frog dived deep into the well. After a while, he came up with the ball in his mouth and threw it on the edge of the spring. As soon as the young princess saw her ball, she ran to pick it up. She was so excited to have it in her hand again that she never thought of the frog, but ran home with it as fast as she could. The frog called after her, "Wait, princess! Take me with you as you said!" But she did not stop to hear a word. The frog kept on following her for quite long, but gradually his voice faded. The princess did not stop until she reached the palace. There she did not discuss the matter with anyone. The next day passed peacefully. The princess kept on thinking about the frog the whole day. "I was right. That ugly frog can never reach my palace," she thought happily. With time, the day melted into evening and then into night. Just as the princess had sat down to dinner, she heard a strange noise, as if something was coming up the marble staircase. And soon afterwards there was a gentle knock at the door, and a little voice cried out and said, "Open the door, my princess dear. Open the door to your true love here. And remember the words that you and I said by the fountain in the green shade." The princess heard it clearly, but chose to ignore. But there was a knock again, and this time it was loud. The princess ran to the door and opened it. And there stood the frog. She was frightened and shut the door as fast as she could to come back to her seat. "What happened, my dear? You look scared. Who has come at the door?" asked the king worriedly. The princess had to tell the king the story of how the frog took out her ball from the well. Hearing the whole story, the king replied, "As you have given your word, you must keep it. So go and let him in." Unwillingly, the princess went and let the frog in. "Thank you so much, my dear princess, for keeping your promise," said the frog, smiling. The princess was disgusted. For 3 days and 3 nights the frog stayed with the princess. It ate from her plate and slept with her. The princess felt sad and helpless, but could not do anything. She would only be at peace during her sleep, but the rest of the day she was unfailingly followed by the frog. On the 4th morning, the princess woke up and saw a handsome prince sitting by her. She was shocked. "Who are you, and how did you come here?" "I am the frog who stayed with you for the past 3 days," he told her. He also told her that he had been cursed by a witch who had changed him into a frog. The witch had said that only a princess could free me from this curse by allowing me to eat and sleep with her for 3 days. "You," said the prince, "have broken the cruel charm by allowing me to stay with you for 3 long days. And now I wish to marry you and live with you in my father's kingdom." The princess was shy, but told him that she accepted the marriage proposal. "I never thought that the ugly frog would surprise me so pleasantly," she said happily. "Now that you have changed into your original form, I can tell you how I hated staying with you. But it's due to my father I had to go on with my promise. But now I feel that it was the right thing to do." The young princess took her father's approval and went with the prince to his kingdom, and there they lived happily ever after.